Jordan is increased his workload. The last 2 days he's taken some steps forward, feeling much better. So that's progressing well. And then Andre, again is not going live, but is close to going live. So it's positive notes there in terms of that. Samson, looking at probably weeks. Weeks plural, and then a reevaluation situation.
So is Jordan close to playing?
He's close. He's close. He's we've got to obviously see how he feels on a day-to-day basis. So it's kind of day-to-day at this point now.
Day-to-day, so it's even possible for tomorrow?
It's possible, but I think we'll see.
You err on the side of caution, obviously, right? If it's
listen, we just have to trust the obviously that Jordan's being honest about his symptoms, and that the medical staff here at UConn has been incredibly thorough. I think we all have incredible confidence that in lieu of different situations this year, the Tua situation that with Miami, that we wouldn't do that with one of our athletes.
The guy coming off when he comes back off a second concussion, you have to worry about his mental frame of mind as far as trying to get over that hurdle. That he's,
I just in basketball you generally don't.
Okay.
Maybe other sport coaches. I don't have a lot of experience with the head injuries, just because it's so uncommon.
Right.
Just don't know of many players that just had that type of misfortune. So it's kind of uncharted a little bit.
What would you consider progress for this game then? What are you looking for?
Win. Win these games. Buffalo, a great win in the opener versus a team in Colgate with BU that are likely to be NCAA tournament teams. One of those two teams I think has got a really good chance in that league. And then so they beat them in the opener. Colgate's a very good team. And then had a tough game against James Madison, but I think that's a trend you've seen in college basketball. Some people have had some really bad, have had a bad loss, and then they followed it up by playing really, really well. I think it's just early in the season. For us, we just we obviously got to defend at an elite level. We've got to really guard the dribble, because this team can really beat you off the dribble, and then they really take your ball. They really attack your ball, and with the lack of depth we have at guard, it's a scary game because of the amount of how aggressive in the way that they really, really rally to the ball and really attack your ball. And with Powell and Jones, they got some guards that can really, really play, and the four-man is really, really good too.
What does being back in the top 25 mean to you, and do you think it means a lot to the players?
I don't know. Maybe. It's just more dopamine for them, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I don't really know. For me, I like it. I want to take a lot of pride in the fact that you ended last year in it. You had a good enough body of work over 4 months that you're in it, and that we felt like we probably should have been in it in the preseason. We probably deserve to be in it in the preseason based on, I think, what we had in place. We want to win and try to climb, And
This year, you mean, should have been preseason, or last year?
I felt like we should have been probably in the preseason, just based on having the best player in the league. Having two guys that were returning, that were mocking. Having a couple of top 50, 3 top 50, 4 and 5 men. A couple of transfers that were highly regarded. But we didn't. I didn't market it enough in the preseason like we did. I think the year. Were we in it the year before?
Preseason?
Were we ever in the preseason ranked or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we marketed it better. I marketed it better. I said the AP blast out.
And just real Adama and Alex getting on her, that's a nice thing too.
Yeah, it is. Adama had a great week. Alex, great week. Just a great example for the rest of the program too. The way they go about their business, and then both got the award by playing the way we asked them to play, and just being about the right thing. So great for them.
Who do you think who was helped out the most with the first two games? What guys think your first two games really helped to get kind of settled in?
I'm hoping Tristan. I mean, we needed to be the guards. I think it was good for Alex though. He hadn't played in so long, and just getting the game reps and getting the confidence, and now I think he's knows he's a really good player already, but I just think the transfer guards, hopefully, because we need those guys right now. Even if and when Jordan and Andre come back, these guys are going to have some rust, and it's going to be they're not going to be in the form that they would have been in. They're going to need those guys to be really good if we're going to keep winning.
Did Tristan build on the second half from last week? Has he practiced well? Did you see a different confidence or anything?
He was aggressive today. I liked what he did today. There were some things there, obviously, in the second half that you just, he looked like he brought that to practice the last 2 days, and he's thinking he's going to bring that into hopefully tomorrow night in terms of just his sharpness and how he attacks the game. And he better be sharp because, again, these guys, the Buffalo guards, I mean, they get into you. And if you're not sharp, they'll make you look bad. And they're very physical with the way that they guard.
They've given up a lot of points, so you can probably take advantage of some things too.
Yeah. You worry about, obviously, the live ball turnovers. I think we had 2 pick sixes in the second half the other day, and then another live ball turnover. So I think we had given up 3 of their field goals were off of pick sixes, and this team feasts on that. And you've got to be sharp with the ball. You can't be loose. You can't float passes. You've got to meet passes. You've got to cut on time. I mean, we did a lot of very fundamental work to make sure that we don't make ourselves vulnerable.
I feel like Naheem, you put him on White the other night. Is he the kind of guy who can guard another team's top guard? Like, I don't know if Andre had been healthy, maybe he would have had that assignment. I don't know. But
yeah.
But moving forward, do you think Naheem could continue to kind of play that role?
Yeah, he's got a two-way potential as a player, and did a great job on him for a half in particular, right? And White got some, White had a pretty good second half, so we do have to play a full 40-minute. If you're going to be a shutdown guy, you've got to, we probably should have held Walter to 6 or 8 points in that game, and then now everyone's patting you on the back for shutdown defense. So Walter still finished with 19, and some of it were at a point where the game was, where we were fairly comfortable. But but that's killer instinct, and we've got to develop that.
For Adama, is about 3 threes a game about what you want to see from him? Or is it just based on what you've seen in the offense during the game?
Yeah, I don't think we go in with a number. Some of it has to do with the ball screen coverage or the way that the other team is guarding us, their style of defense, how he's feeling, pregame warm-up. There's a lot that goes into it. But I like when he shoots those. I mean, if he's taking, he doesn't have to get it off quick either. I mean, if they're giving him space like that and it makes sense at that point in the game, I mean, I want to see him shoot the 3. I think it's going to create problems when we play the bigger centers.
Is Adama more decisive in his moves this year, you think? It seems like he's quicker when he gets the ball and knowing what he's going to do.
It's all about catching it in better spots and being very technical and fundamental about pre-catch. I think we've harped on that so much with those 2 guys, is Donovan and Adama, is catch it with at least a foot in the paint, if not 2, turn and score. There's going to be some games where you're going to play against teams that are so elite defensively that you're going to have to catch it off the block and make, counters and different things. But a lot of time you got to get yourself several field goals a game that are just based on just outstanding position and angles and playing for passes in the post and just really knowing how to use your hips and your elbows.
You talked about this being a good shooting team, obviously without your best shooter available at this point. Do you still see the other guys coming along? Do they just need a few games to get into rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, we were 10 for 21 in the last one. That was good, right? close to 50% from three in that one. Yeah, I think in general that Jordan's going to help those numbers, and the transfers as they get, as Joey and Naheem and Tristan get more comfortable. I think you'll see that they'll shoot much better. Just comfortable in these different arenas we're playing in, comfortable with new teammates, new coach.
Did you watch the football game on Saturday?
I did. It was, what incredible, inspiring work. Just inspiring coaching by him, by Jim, by him, Mora, and and his staff, and then the players. I mean, just what an unbelievable job by all three, just to do what they've done. I mean, I've been in places where I've taken over, just to see it the way it's happened, but I got so much admiration for football coaches because they get to coach the way I want to coach, and I don't always get to coach that way because basketball's gotten soft.
Can you talk about what that means to UConn athletics as a whole?
Yeah, I just think across the board, and I think Jim benefits by the season that the volleyball team's having, how good our softball team has been, how great a coach Jim Benders is, field hockey, just across the board. I just think that the university here in athletics is just so many great coaches, soccer, men's and women's, hockey. I mean, every sport is like really, really good to championship level. So it's, I think we all feed off that. We all feed off that.
How's the defense coming along, Coach? Obviously, that was one of your big things entering the season. Did you like what you saw against BU?
I did. I think that we've tried much harder, and I think it's become the emphasis point that we want. I think players are sacrificing a little bit of life at the offensive end to give us an effort. I think we fundamentally and technically have made some mistakes in terms of our tactics, but the effort and the mentality is there. And every game is different. Last game was about guarding the three-point line and limiting attempts. This game is about guarding the ball because these guards are they're terrific downhill drivers of the basketball, and it is just a completely different game than the first two.
What has Klingon shown you in the 2 live games that you played against other teams that maybe you didn't know?
Yeah, he's got the stomach for it to do the sports at this level. Probably the biggest thing. There's all types of basketball X and O / development things that will just keep getting better and better. But you do. I mean, you want to see what these guys look like when they get out there. And if their socks are yellow, they may not have the stomach for it, So, and he's got the stomach for it. And you can't talk players into it here, especially at this level in this place. I mean, if you don't believe getting out there, it's tough. And he believes, and he's going to be special.